if we're not told in episode 6 that Val is the power broker, I will eat a circus peanut during our next recap.
Just one.
Come on, I can't. Don't even eat the whole pack.
You have to buy it.
I gotta buy it. Yeah, that's good. I'm certainly throwing the rest away. Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Season 1, Episode 5, Truth. This is an homage to the Truth, Red, White, and Black comic book series, which focused on Isaiah Bradley. And, of course, he reappears in this episode. So, we open with Walker, Texas Ranger, John Walker, running from the scene of the crime where he killed a flag smasher with a shield. He momentarily feels the grief at the loss of his friend Hoskins. Then he kind of bottles it all up. And he just says, like, okay, let's go to work. And Sam and Bucky show up. Fight ensues. We end with two things. First, we end with Sam opening the box from Wakanda, kind of Pulp Fiction style. We don't see what's inside the box yet. Likely it's a vibranium suit or vibranium wings or both. And we get a post-credit scene of Walker forging his own shield, which is certainly not vibranium, so it's relatively useless. I was like, because he'll be good at Comic-Con. You get him, John Walker.
You know, one thing to remember, though, is in the movie, Captain America First Avenger, Cap had two shields. He started off with the Union Jack, or not Union Jack, but, sort of, more oblong-shaped shield that he used until, he got the vibranium shield after he rescued Bucky. So
you're saying, in other words, it's possible to be effective without a vibranium shield. That's what you're saying.
Well, not useless, certainly.
Okay, yeah. Useless is a strong term, but I'm just like, I made this shield out of corrugated aluminum. All right, you go get him, imitation Cap.
Something's in my head.
So he's doing the kind of the Iron Man callback with the hammering. Like,
sure.
He took some shop class. Paul, what'd you think of this episode, good sir?
I liked it. I feel like as we get to the end of the series, it's becoming more and more clear exactly, what the series is about. And I mean, it's certainly possible they could do a second season, but assuming that they don't, the main story really is Sam deciding to be Captain America and Bucky coming to terms with what his life is like now that he's free of the influence of his horrible treatment. So and a little bit of the Flag Smashers and how that's relating to where we are in terms of the Marvel Universe and all that. So that's the main stories, really. So and that's fine. I don't think it's been confirmed, but the belief that the virus storyline had to be taken out, I think I believe that's true, and I think it's unfortunate that impacted the story they told. But I think that Bucky and Falcon are a good team, and they certainly could continue on, and I think they should. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this episode. Actually, I liked it a lot. Actually, although there are plenty of talking head moments in it. I think they're effective talking head type moments. I would say that you talked about how Bucky and Sam make a good team. They do. I think people thought Lethal Weapon when they were hearing like what this series was going to be about. In a way, it was like, look, or 24 hours. You mentioned 24 hours, but I don't think it's quite that feel. I think this has more emotional trauma. There's a lot going on underneath this that is more than just like two guys trying to take down the system.
Well, I mean, I'm going to make you work a little harder for that, because in the first Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson's character had to deal with some emotional trauma.
That's true. He was contemplating suicide.
Yes.
but not really. No, okay. After that, he was fine.
You know, everybody knew that gun that he had in his mouth. He wasn't gonna shoot that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I will say this though: in the Lethal Weapon 2, 3, 4, it felt like they just pushed that. Like he was fine then. It was like after Lethal Weapon 1, when he recovered. It was like, all right, he's fine.
Yes.
All right, now he can just shoot guys.
They gave him a fresh trauma in the second one with the death of his South Afrikaans girlfriend, so he could still go crazy and want revenge. You know,
good point.
The way all good cops do.
Yes, revenge.
It's like, make it so it's easy for me to kill a bigot.
Right.
Diplomatic immunity.
Oh. Point taken. It's exactly like Lethal Weapon. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
So we've got the situation right there, right off the bat, where Sam, Bucky confront Walker in the warehouse. He's just killed off Nico, the flag smasher. And Sam almost talks Walker down. He's got that, that's his skill set.
Sure.
Like, hey, I deal with trauma and people with PTSD and stuff. And obviously, they were going to fight. I mean, that was, the whole point is like, look, we could have them fight and it would be cool. So it was never going to work. Yeah. I'll grant that. But in a world where it might have worked, I don't think I would have brought up the shield in that moment. Like, he says, like...
That was their most important thing, though. So, I guess what you would have preferred is for, Sam to bring up some chairs, and sit down. It's like, oh, here's some donuts for us to talk, how you feeling today? Huh,
I would say,
John?
like, while, yes, the shield is an important symbol, I think the real danger in that room is roided out super soldier guy. Shield or no shield, right? I mean, so I feel like let him, like Linus in his blanket. Let him keep his shield while you take him into custody. You're right. You are Captain. Oh, you got
take
it.
him into custody with a shield.
Yeah,
with that he can magical shield that can bounce off things and go right back to his arm. Yeah. Let him keep his gun.
I'm just saying.
If that makes him feel comforted, let him keep his rifle.
As soon as he was like, so if you could just give us a shield now, it just raises all the like, oh, you just want this for yourself. This whole thing is a con job. Let's fight, basically. It's kind of so it that turns the conversation to okay, we're gonna fight.
It couldn't be avoided,
Right.
And Bucky was just sort of like,
collision course. Yeah, you're right. Bucky's like, it's just we're gonna do this. So whatever you want to say.
Yeah, this is just this is how we do a partnership. I let him feel like he's doing something. Sam tries to reason with him, and I kick his ass. I'm bad cop, right? I'm bad cop, bad cop. Yeah, okay.
I'm back up. Okay. Now we fight. So yeah, the fight is very cool. There's a lot of tension in it. And in two different occasions, we have Walker's
you could say it reminded me of Apollo and Rocky in the second movie, where they both knock each other out, and they're I've got to get up
to the count of 10. So Walker is going to do the shield crush on both of them at different times, and they are both saved by each other.
That's his move.
That's right. Shield crush. He rips off Sam's wings. I like the way Sam used his wings in combat. I was thinking as the fight started, like, not the best place for a winged person inside a warehouse. But you know what? He actually found some ways to be useful in that. So, so they break his arm, basically, to get the shield off. It's kind of a little Thanos in the gauntlet kind of moment. It was like,
sure. It's a good thing that they didn't have Star-Lord there to distract
him. Right.
Wait, now that you're trying to get that off, let me ask about...
That results in a court-martial hearing.
Speedy tribunal,
And they give him a, whatever, not
dishonorable discharge. That's all. What else is there?
Or something like that.
Not honorable discharge.
Other than honorable.
Other than honorable, yeah.
The not honorable
Don't make me say dis, sir. Don't make me say dis.
So he gets no pension, but he also doesn't get any prison time. And they're like, look, because of your past deeds...
Yeah, you get a out of jail free card.
but get out of here if you would.
Yeah.
And he tells him that's what he was trained to do, and he is Captain America.
Yes, he is.
But
no,
he
you're
gets
not.
dismissed.
M, not M.
And this is when we get the cameo. It is Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Louis-Dreyfus, yes.
Shows up as, we'll call her Val. She has a very long name. Also
Yes.
the Contessa. But
Yes.
she shows up as Val. Val is a
Contessa.
character in the comics. And she's known as Madam Hydra. She's also, I guess, there's a comic run where she's a Skrull. She's bad news, basically.
Yep.
And so she shows up and says, look, you know what? You made a great choice in taking that serum because now you're really valuable to certain people that I know. So here's my blank card, and just answer the phone when I call you. So we can assume that she's going to call in the next episode. I think I'm cashing in my chips. I think I'm all in, pushing them in.
It's like it's your last chance to mat. Is that what you're going to do now?
No, I'm not. It's not a matting, but it's
it's a cashing your chips.
I'm calling it that Val is the power broker. There, I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
She comes off as this corporate bigwig. Somebody, I don't know. It could be call themselves the power broker. She knows about the serum, which is what was stolen from the power broker.
Sure, yeah.
And she says, notably, that it's a shame that he didn't kill all the Flag Smashers, which the limited quotes we have from the power brokers include the one text where it's like, I'm coming to kill all of you.
Yes.
You stole something from me.
Yes.
So it fits with the power brokers, sensibilities there.
Yeah, sure.
So she's the power broker. I don't know how do we give stakes to this? Okay. Last episode, I said that the only candy worse than Turkish Delights are circus peanuts. If we're not told in episode 6 that Val is the power broker, I will eat a circus peanut during our next recap.
Just one.
Come on, I don't even eat the whole pack.
You have to buy it.
I gotta buy it. Yeah, that's good. I'm certainly throwing the rest away. But yeah,
so now you're gonna give some to your cat.
Yeah, she'd probably eat it. But that's how confident I am, because I feel confident I'm not gonna have to eat a circus peanut because Val's a power broker. All right, there you go. Anyway, heck, we'll just do the rest of the John Walker stuff. He goes to visit Hoskins' parents.
Yes.
And tell them, hey, look, he
killed
died.
Lamar. He killed Lamar.
I killed the guy that killed Lamar, which is not true.
No, it's not true. Looks like his sister kind of knows it. Like, get out of here with that shot.
Now, and that's brought up another time earlier where he says it to Bucky and Sam, and Bucky's like, yeah, he didn't kill.
Yeah, no, he's been trying to lie from the beginning. It's like, we were there. Hello.
And so for that reason, I feel like it's just part of his own coping mechanism. Like to him, it sounds better. It's like, I killed the guy that killed my partner.
Yeah.
And so that's the way he can rationalize it.
Yeah, makes sense.
But he does say in that, when he's talking to Hoskins' parents, he says, when he's saying, oh yeah, I killed the guy that killed your son, because I would never let the person who did that get away.
Oh.
So what that tells me is he's going to try to go kill Carly because Carly killed Hoskins, and anyway, so in his mental state, I think that makes sense to him somehow.
Sure.
So when he's making the shield, part of it is like, now I'm going to go kill Carly. And on that note, let's jump back to Zemo getting recaptured.
Yes.
Bucky finds Zemo at the Sokovia Memorial.
Yes.
And pretends to shoot him in the face.
Threatens to. Yes.
But see, I'm a better guy than that. I only pretended to shoot you in the face. Yeah. Actually, I just gave you nightmares for the rest of your life.
That's not a physical harm, more of a mental harm.
Right.
And he tried to kill himself. So how much of a threat is that really?
This guy, for a guy who is suicidal, he has survived quite well.
Yes.
And so instead of shooting Zemo, Bucky has arranged for the Dora Milaje to take him away. But his kind of parting words to Bucky are, hey, look, Carly's too far gone. She's irredeemable. Do what you do, Winter Soldier. You should kill her while you get the chance. because she's going to do terrible things. That's the only way to stop her, is to kill her. Which I think to me means obviously they're going to stop her without killing her.
Well, that'll be his thing.
Right. So we've got this situation where Walker wants to kill her.
Right.
Out of revenge.
I see.
We talk about revenge. Lethal weapon. He's got revenge. And so he's trying to kill Carly, and they're going to be trying to stop Carly, but not kill her.
Right, sure.
And in fact, I think it makes sense, since she leads this movement, by killing her, they'd make her a martyr.
Yeah.
I think by having her repent, essentially, and tell her folks to stand down, that's how you end the conflict. So that's probably the direction they're going in that. There's a wild card in that too, though, which is also Batroc is back.
Yes.
So George St. Pierre.
Yes.
Who we saw in episode 1. Falcon dealt with him, and he managed to escape just in time before his helicopter blew up. Sharon Carter has gotten him out of jail, and somebody had translated his French chat, and apparently it basically suggested that Sharon Carter was the one who hired him for that first gig in episode 1.
Okay.
So she has now hired him again to give weapons to the Flag Smashers, which he does. We see him delivering weapons, and then his payment, in a sense, is you get a chance to kill Falcon because he wants revenge.
Right.
So
I'm wondering if now suddenly I feel like that's such a departure for that character. Now it makes me wonder if she's been undercover all this time.
Right. I think undercover would be the way to best sum up what's been happening.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's completely out of character, and it means a whole lot of stuff happened off screen, which is kind of So yeah, we'll see how this all plays out, but we do have a lot of pieces in play for this big final battle, which we know what the battle is now.
Yeah.
The GRC is going to have this vote on the Patch Act, which is basically displacing a bunch of refugees that the Flag Smashers represent, essentially. And so the Flag Smashers are going to try to stop the vote. We see them already screwing up the computers in New York. They're going to, blow the place up or try to take hostages or both or whatever. So that's the big set piece that's going to end this series, or season at least. And so you're going to have this whole congregation of different conflicting things. You've got the Flag Smashers with Carly. You've got Batroc on the side of Carly, I suppose, for at least temporarily. Then you've got Bucky and Sam, and you've got John Walker, and they're all kind of converging in one place.
Yeah.
I guess I was a little underwhelmed by the apparent conclusion to the Zemo storyline there. He escaped.
Yes.
And then it seemed like he's immediately recaptured. I don't know. I felt like if you're going to have him escape in the story, you kind of maybe want more consequence to that. He had some kind of mischief he does while he's on the loose.
Additional prison time you want,
it's just like
a smaller cell, not being on the ocean.
I mean, I guess the only thing you did is you got a moment where Bucky kind of gets to cross him off his list, I guess. But he was probably going to do that anyway. I don't know. It's just I'm not sure what you gained from having Zemo escape only to be immediately recaptured by the same folks. Put him on the loose for a while, have him be trouble, and then capture him again later. But that's a small point. He is going to the raft, which was interesting to me, as opposed to Wakanda.
Yes.
The raft is the prison where a lot of the Avengers were being held in Civil War.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to get the same cell as as Sam. When Sam was there, he was in the raft, and he was telling Tony, yeah, right, yeah, look at you, walking around. You tried your best, didn't you? Yeah.
That's a good point. We could have a shot of Zemo in that cell and seeing
Falcon
scrawled on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's apparently the end of the Zemo storyline. We might see a post-credit thing maybe with the Zemo in the raft.
Well, perhaps with other cellmates, right? That might appear in the Thunderbolts or whatever.
Right. Could be a lead into the Thunderbolts type stinger at the end of episode 6. obviously, big scene that happens is that Sam decides to go visit Isaiah Bradley with the shield. And so shows up in Baltimore, has this talk, and it's interesting because he comes at it from what went wrong, is what he asks.
Right.
And the way I take that is Sam has just come from dealing with John Walker, who had failed at the expectation of being Captain America.
Yes.
And Sam's having this own thing of like, do I want to be Captain America? It's this expectation. Is it wrong? Blah, 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 blah. And so he goes to talk to Isaiah because I think he's assuming that somehow the pressure of being a super soldier somehow ended up with him in jail and he did something wrong or he broke like John Walker did or something. I think the what went wrong, I thought maybe was like, how did the pressure get to you, perhaps? I don't know. That's kinda what
I don't know. I mean, I was unsatisfied with that particular aspect of it because, what they wanted from the scene was Isaiah to, talk about what happened or whatever, and it just came off weird, sort of like, obviously Sam should have been able to assume quite a bit about
but he seems like he doesn't. Like he seems genuinely surprised, right? He's like, we should do something about this.
It's like, I think I would have preferred he was sort of like, I'm sure something bad happened, but just could you tell me what it was?
I agree that
sort of like,
that came off as odd to me.
What was it? What? It was unsatisfying, that aspect of it. I think they wanted to ratchet up his impatience or, really wanting to get the answer, basically. Like, I need to know exactly what happened so I can make my decision.
Right.
It didn't play... I wasn't crazy about the way that it played. I mean, he was basically being there, though, for Isaiah, though, to tell his story, so...
and the story
is less important.
Is terrible. I mean, in terms of just like what happened to that guy.
Yes.
Is just, I mean, like,
Yeah.
That is is Job. I mean, like, there's so many terrible things happened to this guy.
To me, it's like they obviously were trying to parallel what happened to Steve, where Steve saved the people after, the government said, man, that's okay.
Yeah, it was not worth rescuing them.
And then at the end of it, it reminded me that at the end, once he came back with all the people that he'd saved, he said, okay, I'm turning myself over for disciplinary action because I disobeyed an order and went and saved those people. And, Tommy Lee Jones is like, don't worry about it, buddy.
Yeah. We'll just take
So
care
here
of that.
you could say, like, oh, yeah, okay, well, no, we're going to hold this against you.
Yeah, for 30 years.
Yeah.
Put you in jail for decades.
Wow, you did that? Wow, you're probably really good. Where's that microscope? Hold him down.
Right, and then of course the extra sad irony of the fact that the people he saved apparently died soon thereafter.
Yeah.
Because they had been tested with different versions of the serum, and so he's the only one that survived.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just like, oh man, they told him it was tetanus. It's a terrible story.
Yeah.
And so his conclusion is he would never be Captain America, and he strongly implies that if Sam becomes Captain America, he's selling out and he has no self-respect, basically. Sure. We get the idea that Sam is going to make a different decision. I think Sam
we do.
And we had this montage of we're rebuilding the boat. And so in some ways to him, the boat becomes the shield, because they repair this thing with the help of the community. Yeah. And at the end of it all, the sister's like, you know what, we can't sell this boat. And he's like, I'm glad you said that because this boat is his legacy and we can't just trash it. And I think that's the idea. Is like, we can't just get rid of the shield. It's a legacy. I think that's where I got out of it, was the parallel to he's realizing that the history is important and we can't just throw it away.
I guess that could be the case, or certainly it would be kind of a downer if, like, let's get this boat back up to snuff. Now we can sell it. It wouldn't have the same.
Well, that kind of happens sometimes, I think, in situations where people are like, I'm going to fix up my house so I can sell it. And then they fix up their house and they're like, oh, it looks pretty good now. Yeah. All right, I'll just stay. Yeah. Bucky comes along to help out. And so we get this like, hey, let's get the boat going, and they do the thing, and then they do the training montage. They play catch with the shield.
Yeah.
While they have a chat.
Yep.
And we get another like heart-to-heart talk between the two of them, where Bucky's like, yeah, again, the idea of like, I needed this to work out so that I could believe in myself and that I'm a good guy, and and I understand now for you, Sam, to take up the mantle, the shield of Captain America was a different expectation than for me, say, or something like that. Like,
yeah.
And so...
Yeah, no, he very clearly says, I'm sure neither I or Steve, thought about what it would mean for a black man to take the shield. I mean, that's
right.
what he pretty much says, and yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
and
for me, it's a little pat, unfortunately. I think one of the things that it's like, rather than have him realize that in real time, he realizes it off camera. You know what? That thing that I said before, that was not very considerate.
I was angry at you for most of the...
I'm still a good person. I figured it out for myself.
Yeah. Well, and Sam brings up again the idea of like, you've got to go and make amends, not just by getting revenge on people, but by apologizing.
Right, yeah.
And so that
it's like,
obviously is leading to the...
He has a clear understanding of the thing that he needs to do. So
and we
it's very, I felt, unfortunately, truncated. So
obviously we're going to have a late episode 6 scene where he goes in and talks to the old man. And what was interesting is the way Sam said it, though, was interesting, because he says it's not, don't just go apologize to check it off your list. Like, you're trying to apologize to make them feel better, to give them closure. So just going like, hey, I killed your son. All right, are we good? Okay, great. That's not enough. If you're not helping them in some way, then that doesn't count. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, you can't, don't half-ass it. Like, okay, got it. I told him ish. I sent him a text.
It makes me curious then what it's going to be. It's like, I killed your son. Hey, can I take out your garbage?
Right.
Like,
right.
Hey, look at that. Your porch needs to be fixed. I'll take care of that.
As I say, there was that scene.
We're even? We're good? We're good?
In one of those Bourne movies, I think it was Bourne Supremacy. I don't remember.
Oh, I could be Born in the 4th of July.
But he's got this heart-to-heart, and he's telling this woman that he killed her parents, and she's like just destroyed by it, and then he basically leaves. We've got closure now, but it's effective in that it felt more real than like thanks for telling me. Wow, that makes me feel better. Like, no, okay, in that moment, that's not good. But so yeah, you're right. How will they play that out so that it matches what Sam has set as the expectation for that? So we'll see. Torres, is playing with the wings that have been torn off of Sam, and he's like, hey, what do you want to do with these? And he's like, you can keep them. That could be a reference to, in the comics, he becomes the Falcon after Sam becomes Captain America. So anyway, they've set that little breadcrumb if they want to go there. Oh, one other thing I thought was kind of funny. I was like, Sam, considering the training montage when he's trying to learn how to use the shield.
Yes.
We see him at least once. He tries to hit the target and he misses, and it ping, and he goes off. He gets awfully cocky. He goes out on the pier. And he throws the shield against a column on the... I'm like, that was almost a multi-day aquatic salvage operation. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
How strong do you think he is?
Detectors.
Multi-day?
I don't know. Like, if that thing just kept going, if he missed the pier entirely, and it just
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
into the water and then sank.
Then he'd have to find it.
You'd have to find
it. Might not be so easy to find. Okay.
Correct. That was my thought.
All right.
Like somewhere in this area, I think. Anyway. But no, he's like, no, I know now. This montage has helped me get so good at this. So Cap, non-super soldier Cap with cool outfit and actual shield will be up against super soldier fake Cap with fake shield. So da 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 da. Bang.
Yeah.
I think Carly gets redeemed, and
Really?
yeah, I think that's the whole point. Is that Zemo says she has to die, and so when somebody who's a villain says something has to happen, that means the good guys don't want that to happen. So I feel like there is another way. There's not the Zemo way. There's the Sam and Bucky way. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Even though death isn't what she's after with this, the meeting.
Yeah.
It just feels like, she's past, a marker or whatever. I mean, she has to go to jail, so that has to happen. So I guess it's possible that she, realizes the error of her ways and then gets sent to jail.
Or she realizes the error of her ways and then dies. I mean, that could also happen. I'm not saying she necessarily survives.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but I'm saying that they're not going to.
It would probably
kill
be
her to
better
take her out or
if it probably would be better if she died. Even though I like her as an actress and the character, I don't necessarily think though that it's not like there's the possibilities that exist with, say, Loki or even Zemo in terms of future storylines. So
right. I agree.
Ending a vote to get everybody, repatriated, it is not as dramatic as, we have a virus that's going to kill everybody that came back. It's like,
assuming that's what I got you.
Assuming that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how this pans out. I am interested to see the resolution to this. I think there also will be at least one cut scene, if not multiple cut scenes. There will be at least one end credit scene, if maybe not two.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But so we'll look for that.
Yes,
thank
we'll
you
look for it
as
all.
always, Paul.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, sir, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.